Good morning, trading world. It is April 13th, 2023, 7:47 a.m. on the East Coast, and this is my pre-market outlook and technical analysis for day trading the markets. The title of today's outlook: with earnings here, pay attention to guidance and which items will put a drag on the market. That's right, earnings are here, and the most important part of earnings outside of revenue is guidance. Guidance gives you a glimpse into the future as you see what companies are preparing for and how they are preparing for it. Layoffs and shrinking transactions and spending signal overall contraction in the market. With the truth, speed, and accuracy I feel you can't get from the government reports. A company like Walmart has enough employees to give you a feel for what's going on in the overall economy. Will a Delta earnings miss this morning put an early stumble in today's rise to the upside? The whole world seems to be waiting on earnings from the financial sector. A couple of small lenders report today, but everyone is waiting to see what J.P. Morgan Chase is going to say, which is tomorrow before market. I am expecting a bounce in Chase to pick up the rest of the market. Chase and a couple of other big banks may be the only bright spot in this sector, and that will probably not last long once you hear their guidance. Also, today we have jobless claims and PPI at 8:30 a.m., which will be key to an early morning stumble. Another thing that is very important is that for the last 2 weeks, the chart that I have up is a 10-day, 30-minute aggregation. The purple lines are the expected moves for last week, and as you can see, this week. The black line in the middle is basically where the week started. And as you can see, price has pretty much gone nowhere for the last 2 weeks, just basically meandering around, maybe a little bit over, a little bit under of where we started each of the last 2 weeks. It's basically a coiling spring, or spring being compressed over these last 2 weeks. At some point soon, that spring is going to pop one way or another. I feel like a big pop up is coming with an even larger fade behind it. So don't be surprised, because I've been saying the market feels as if it wants to go tag 416 or 418, somewhere up in that area. So don't be surprised if we get that big pop up toward that area and then sometime after begin to fade from that point. And that fade will be pretty large. Let's get to the key levels to watch for today. Alright, here we are with the key levels of the day. Starting on the resistance side, we have our jack resistance at the 408 to the 409 area. Queen resistance 410 to the 411 area. And then king resistance 412 to the 414 area. On the support side, we have our Jack support at 407 to the 406 area. Queen support 405 to the 404 area. And then King support 403 to the 400 area. I feel like today there's going to be a limit to what we see to the downside, at least early in the day. And we're probably going to test somewhere between this Queen and King support area, but it won't be until overnight. The overnight session or European session has been pretty strong the last few days, and I expect that not to be so tonight. The main thesis for today is bullish, closing above the 408.05 with a projected target high between 409 and 414. The alternate thesis is bearish, closing below the 408.05 with a projected target low between 408 and 403. The main channel we're in is from 397 up to 416. The main channel below that is 397 down to 379. Again, we should also be aware of the main channel above, which is 416 up to 425. Yesterday, the market strength in breadth opened barely up and fell right from the open, making it a range-bound day, pushing the lows on the day. I expect strength to open even with yesterday's close or close to it, with lows coming early, finding strength mid-morning to the middle of the day, and weakening late in the day. We have harmony between the technical side on the SPY, which is bullish, and the quant side, which is also bullish. However, the futures have a bearish bias for the day, with a dissonance between the technical side, which is bullish, and the quant side, which is bearish, further giving me proof that today's going to be a mixed signal, more so in that range bound area where we could see some lows and some highs above the previous close. This brings us to our scenarios of the day. And here we have our most probable scenario of the day, which is going to be our expanded range day structure. We could struggle early morning, rejecting at resistance. Expect to find a pocket of strength to push us through resistance midday, and then again weakening later in the day. And I expect this weakness to carry over into the overnight session, giving us a decent sized gap down open on Friday. All right, our second most probable scenario is going to be our rounded reversal day type structure. We could get a continued push higher toward the Jack or Queen resistance area and find midday chop around either the Queen or King resistance before going back down with the same energy of force we went up with the first part of the day. Now, this continued push up is not going to come easy. It is going to come with some struggle pre-market, where we look like we're going to try to test lower, but we will get that turnaround either right before or right after the open to kind of take us higher. That is our rounded reversal day type structure. All right, our last scenario and least most probable is going to be our trend day up, meaning we open gap up and start with a pushback toward the previous close, represented by the blue line. We find support on or before that previous close, then begin the uptrend for the day. We usually find midday chop around either the possible queen or king, should be resistance area. All right. After finding midday chop around either the queen or king resistance area, usually the second part of the day, we usually open up looking to continue the primary trend of the morning, but a majority of the time it turns into pretty much a head fake, only looking to go up briefly and then turning into a fade or flattening out, going into the close toward the end of the day. So those are the scenarios that I'm going to be preparing for. I'm definitely going to be looking at things to cover some shorts on the QQQs from yesterday, and again toward the end of the day, if the setup is similar and I get confirmation, I'll be looking to short the Qs again at some point toward the middle of the day today, and the SPY as well. And I may add to some Apple shorts as well. Those are the things that I'll be looking at today. As always, your most important job as a trader is to protect the capital that you already have. We do this by knowing and understanding the risk that we have on in each position and managing that risk in accordance to our account size. I hope this helps. Wishing you a positive trading day. Let's go out and make it a great one.